Nacho man, yeah. I got to be a Nacho man. Got to be a Nacho man. I got to be a Nacho man.
Welcome, Vault Dwellers. My name is Nacho Bidness, and we're back at Electrical Island today for something of a disappointing video. I had intended to show some different techniques for animating the lightbox wall that we built in my last video. And the animation that we did on that one, I would contend anybody can do as long as they're willing to give it a try. However, the stuff that I came up with this time I think are too complex to try and do a tutorial on, and also require mods that not everybody is using, specifically advanced settlement power. That's not a very popular mod, even though it's definitely one of my favorites. I still decided to though show at least what is possible, so that maybe it will get some ideas going for you, and maybe you will come up with some animation or some other thing that you enjoy based on what you see here. Serdiliac has joked that my tutorials should start off as Step 1, obtain electrical engineering degree. Step 2, start Fallout 4. And although I do not have an electrical engineering or computer science or any other related degree, I certainly can understand that some of what I do is a little bit too tedious and too complex, or for some people they don't have the time or the patience to replicate some of these things. That said, if there is a build that you would like me to do for you, I'd certainly love to hear about it in the comments, because fulfilling viewer requests is certainly one of my favorite types of videos to do. So if you've got an electrical or any other kind of request, certainly don't hesitate to leave me a comment and let me know, so that I might be able to try and take that on. The thing that I did not like about the animation from last time is there's a long 1 second gap in between each color. You see that? And I wanted to see if I could do this animation without using an interval switch and get rid of the gap between colors. What I came up with was this over here, and in fact you can see that it does not have a gap in between colors, although we do have to look at it for a little bit just to keep the game from glitching out. In practice, it ended up requiring a piece out of advanced settlement power called an SR latch. And while I won't cover exactly how to do all of the wiring here, in short, an SR latch is top is powered when the middle is powered on, and top is powered off when bottom is powered on. So I used some delay on switches to set the timing of the animation, so that when the top is powered on, the delayed on switch takes a second and then hits the bottom, which turns the power off and also moves to the next SR latch. So there's 3 wires that come off of this that run the animation. The 4th eventually ends up over at a terminal to program the delay. The key to this was that since an SR latch only has an output of 1 power, I needed to have an AND gate that was wired into main settlement power. In this case, I have a switch here labeled screen that I can use to power these AND gates. So you can just see that the AND gates cycle through as the SR latches are cycling through. Meanwhile, it's got the main power on all the time, and that's because that screen takes 35 power to run for each color, and without linking some additional power in, then just those SR latches, the screen won't actually turn on. Now, it is possible to run this without the delayed on switches, but it is I did not find the effect to be very pleasing to the eye. Let me show you what I mean. Anyone who is susceptible to photosensitive seizures, you may want to look away from the screen. Without those delayed on switches in the circuit, these things cycle through just as fast as they can. And oftentimes that means they glitch out. We end up with multiple colors on top of each other, which is basically what happens when it more or less flashes white, or we end up with very small gaps in between the different colors. And ultimately, I did not care for this, but if you are looking to make something go this fast, it is certainly possible to do if you don't use interval switches and instead you use the SR latches. You may have noticed there that there was a very long gap. That is because things are just cycling so fast that sometimes it will glitch out. You know, this should still be a very smooth top to bottom kind of thing. You can see the bottom two are almost always lighting up simultaneously. Sometimes nothing is lit at all. And so to keep things kind of rolling, I just have this delayed off switch on an 1/8 second and one on, one off interval switch that is providing seed power to the beginning of the animation circuit, so that when it glitches out, it will eventually reset itself automatically. Again, not something that I found very pleasing, but it is certainly very possible. So one last thing that I wanted to show you guys is the thing that I'm most proud of. What I've got here is a lightbox wall that the color flows from top to bottom. And this is something that you can do yourself. It took me nearly a week to figure this out, not because I didn't know how to do it right away. It was simply a matter of I was trying really hard to come up with a simpler way. Never really came up with something better, and so I ended up brute forcing my way through it. This takes, with my current setup, a total of 16 delayed on switches, 16 delayed off switches, and 32 logic gates that are acting as diodes to keep all of these delay switches from talking to each other in order to make this happen. And that's in addition to all the timing gear that I had earlier to eliminate my interval switch. Again, a very complex build, takes up a lot of space in the settlement, and is going to make things chug. And as happy as I am with this and how it turned out, I'm also kind of sad that probably hardly anybody is going to see this. It's not going to make it into a major settlement build of mine, I don't think, and I was not able to make it simple enough to make a tutorial for anybody else to put it in their settlement. So, feels like a wasted week, and I'm disappointed by that. So to keep me from wasting my time, again, I will mention that I would love to hear viewer requests. If there is something that you would like me to try and show you how to build, whether that is electrical or otherwise, please leave me a comment and I'll see what I can do. If you liked this video, hit the like button, and if you did not like, please tell me why in a comment so that I can try and do better for you next time. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, because next time we're going to talk about something a little bit more practical than these light box walls. We're going to show you how I built my little security station over here. Until then, my name is Nacho Bidness, and I'm saying it's a great big wasteland out there. Let's go have fun in it.